Dave Johan for the Boxing Voice, pleased to be joined by a young prospect in the Super Welterweight division, Inder Singh Bassi. How are you, Inder?
I'm all good, bro. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for doing this short notice. We've been talking for a few days now.
Yeah.
So, talk to me a bit about your career. How did you get into it? And talk to us about your family as well, because your granddad was a world record breaker, wasn't he?
Yeah. So, like I said, I got into boxing when I was about 12 years old. Originally, I used to play football, and then obviously over the summer holidays, I just went to boxing training just to strengthen up a bit and get a bit fitter and before pre-season. And I took a liking to it because I've always actually done boxing. Whether I wasn't actually competing when I was 12 or training in a boxing gym, but like my granddad, he was a boxer back in the 60s. Then from him, my dad started boxing. My uncle, and then my dad was boxing. So it's always been in my family. So from a young age, I was always actually doing boxing. We always had a boxing bag in the house, and like kids, you've always bought a pair of boxing gloves and just punch your little brother up or punch a big, do that kind of stuff. So I took a liking to it, and then I had my first fight when I was about 12 years old. I lost that one, and then in my first year, I actually went on to go into the schoolboy finals. So after losing my first fight, within the same year, I carried on fighting. I went to schoolboy finals. So since then, in the amateurs, I had around 70, 75 fights.
Yeah.
Boxed all over the country. I've been to Europe a few times, boxing, just kept busy. And now I'm turned professional. I turned professional about a year ago. I signed up with MTK. And it's been good so far. Well, it was good until about March, April time when lockdown hit. I boxed last year in December. It was on the Sky Sports Golden Contract. So it was a really good show for my first fight. Massive show, sold out and everything. And it had a few good fighters on there. And then my second fight again, which was in February, so just after 2 months, that was also on Sky Sports. Again, it was on the Golden Contract undercard. And then I had my third fight and fourth fight planned. So they was penciled in, and I'd actually received the tickets for my third fight in April. And then bang, in March, lockdown happened and all the shows got cancelled. But now, I'm here now. I'm boxing again in 3 weeks tomorrow on another MTK show. So I'm just getting ready for that now, training hard.
Good stuff. And was the fight always going to be your third fight? Was it going to be with Jack Martin as well, undefeated in the Super Welterweight division? Was that always?
No. So my next fight is, but so you mean like in April?
Yeah, what was that fight going to be? Was it?
Yeah, so that was just going to be like a normal, probably a journeyman, just to build my experience and step up slowly. There was no rush. However, I didn't know there was going to be a lockdown, and nobody knew there was going to be a lockdown.
No.
The boxing world and the sporting world in general just come to a complete halt. So it's given me the opportunity to get out, because like I said, a lot of young fighters, they're not getting out because there's no ticket selling, and there's not many shows, and the shows that are limited to like 5 or 7 fights. So people want to see the big fights, but I've been given the opportunity, and I'm confident in myself. My coach is confident in me, my team's confident. And like I said, on paper it's a 50-50 fight, but I have no, I've taken a fight. As soon as I got the call, I was like, yeah, 100%. I'm confident in myself, and it's a step up, but I'm here not just to make numbers up. I don't want a fabricated record where I'm 10, 12 or 0, but I haven't really boxed anybody.
Yeah.
I don't mind stepping up and showing levels, because at the end of the day, it's going to bring me on as a fighter, and it looks good on my record. You might be able to beat a journeyman, which is needed. You need that experience sometimes. But like I said, where I've had a long amateur career, I've had all the experience that, all the different styles, all the different opponents. I've had them from the amateur days.
Yeah.
So I don't mind stepping up. And like I said, as a 6-rounder, I think it'll be better suited for me. I can't wait to fight.
What did you do during lockdown as well? Did you have and everything, or was it a case of just taking a break for a bit whilst your gym was closed?
Yeah.
How did you keep fit during that sort of time? Because it was hard.
So it was very hard. When lockdown initially hit, everyone panicked. No one really knew, not just the boxing world, but the whole world. Nobody really knew what was going on or what was going to happen. So I was ticking over myself. I'd go for runs regular, like almost not every day. 3, 4 or 5 times a week I'd go for a run. I have a gym in my house. So I was, strength training. I was doing my training at home. Like I said, I had no access to a gym because all the gyms were shut. So it was just what I had to do at home. You know, I'd go for a run in the park or the field or the track, whatever, and just weight training and basic boxing at home. However, I was told by my coach, Kevin Lilly, to stay active and stay fit because lockdown could have ended and all of a sudden I've got a phone call saying, you know, can you fight in 4 weeks? So if I was unfit and I just wasted, say, 4, 5, 6 weeks sat at home, I wouldn't have been able to fight. So I was told by my coach to just tick over, you know, stay sharp, stay fit, stay ready as well as you can. And if the phone does ring, you'll be ready. And then obviously as soon as lockdown got eased a bit and the professional athletes were allowed to go back to gyms, we had my stablemate Nav Mansouri. He was boxing in Eddie Hearn's back garden.
Yeah.
So as soon as the gyms were open, I was literally training full out because I was his sparring partner. So I'd gone from literally lockdown, where I was training at home, staying fit, and to then just going straight into sparring with people like Nav Mansouri, Ted Cheeseman, Felix Cash was all boxed on Eddie Hearn's back garden.
Which
So
was that fight camp number 2 or
2 and 3? No, 1 and 2. Sorry.
1 and 2 is one of those.
1 and 2. Yeah. So
Cheeseman was number 1, wasn't it? I think.
Cheeseman was the first show, yeah, and then Nav Mansouri and Felix Cash were on the second or third one. They were both on the same show, so I was sparring with them. So lockdown, in a way, although it cancelled 2 fights of mine, it worked in my favour because it gave me time to concentrate on myself training-wise. You know, I felt like I got a lot stronger during lockdown because, like I said, you know, when you have a fight date, your camp say 6 weeks or 8 weeks, you can't really. Strength training wise, you can't really do too much because before you know it, you're cutting weight and it's fight day. Where I didn't really know if I was fighting or not, I was doing a lot of strength training, and then I went straight from strength training to sparring, you know, with elite fighters, some of the best in the country.
Yeah.
And it brought me a lot. So in a way, like I said, it put me back. You know, I could have been 4 or 5 fights in my professional career by now, but I learned a lot, if that makes sense. So it was like kind of a blessing in disguise. It was good. It was good. You know, they were elite fighters and they pushed me a lot. Where they were all getting ready for big fights, spending every day with them. Where other fighters, they were probably doing nothing because, you know, there was no shows. Only the elite were fighting. I was lucky enough to be their sparring partner and train with them, so it was a good experience for me.
No, good stuff. I mean, another chap. I don't know if you've sparred him or come across him in your professional life. Very close to where you live, the same weight division as you, Hamza Shiraz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you had any sparring or anything with Hamza?
Yeah. So we actually sparred when I was still an amateur about 2 years ago. Sorry, like I said, he's a local lad. He's not far from me. I haven't really sparred him recently. You know, obviously everything's been a bit crazy with lockdown and Corona, so I haven't really sparred him recently, but he's doing well. He's a good fighter. He's winning, so maybe one day we might have to meet in a ring, you know, never know.
You never know, do you? Because, you know, it's a case of, it's the same weight division. I mean, his rise has been quite sort of from there to like there in terms of the European level. And is that the sort of level that you're aspiring? Because you're only, what, 20, 22, 23, aren't you yourself?
23, yeah.
23, yeah. So, I mean, what's the ultimate goal here? I mean, you want to go through the divisions, or you're happy at the weight? And then,
well, I mean, every professional fighter, you know, when you sign up professional, you have to dedicate your life to it. So nobody really turns professional with the hopes of just, you know, having 1 or 2 fights and calling it a day, you know, especially when you do. Like my teammate, Danny Dignam, he's a current WBO middleweight champion. And he's only, what, 10 or 11 and 0. So he's won it quite early on as well. So, you know, if I can follow the same footsteps as my teammates, and then my other teammate, Danny Darko, he won the Southern Area title, but he's the quickest person to ever win it in his weight. He's done it in 4 or 5 fights. So, you know, if they can do it and they're my teammates, I train with them day in, day out, I hope to follow their footsteps and I can, you know, replicate them and do what they're doing. And like I said, you know, the sky's the limit. I'm mixing with the best, sparring-wise. So, you know, another year or so, I hope to be fighting for titles myself. Like I said, it's my 3rd fight. I'm taking a 50-50 fight on. I'm full confident in myself. My team is fully confident in me. So, you know, I I'm going to push as fast as I can, but I'm not going to rush it because, like I said, it's all about timing in this game. I'm not going to rush anything, but I do see myself not just being a journeyman or just, I mean, not fighting journeyman or 10-0 with just nobody's on my record. But I do wish, by the time I'm 10-0, either fighting for a title or an eliminator or something like that. For sure, yeah.
Good stuff. And being from the Sikh community as well, it's very, very rare, should we just say, to see boxers that are Sikh in this as well. I mean, I could probably count 2 or 3 people on my hand.
On one hand.
Yeah. You're one of them. What's that like? I mean, me being Sikh as well, so I know that I know what it means. So, what's it like for the community when they see you fight and the fans and so on and so forth?
I mean, the support I've received from the Sikh community, the Punjabi community, has been spectacular. I can't complain. When it comes to selling tickets, they buy tickets. People I don't know. I've had people come from the Midlands, just to see me fight, and they're not buying 1 or 2; they're buying 10 tickets, for example, and just to see a Punjabi, a Sikh guy in the ring. So the support's been great. And obviously on Instagram and Facebook, messages of I hope you're doing well, blah blah blah. Keep it up the good work. The confident messages, they inspire confidence, and it's nice to know that tomorrow I could win a British title, and I'd probably be the first Sikh fighter to win a British title. So it's like an honour to be representing my community in that way. Like you said, there's not many. So when we do, people always ask me, oh, you're a Sikh fighter. There's not many Sikh fighters. So it's nice to be recognised, kind of thing, in that sense, and be able to be a forefront in hopefully we'll see in the coming years, we'll see more young athletes. But there is, in the amateurs, there is a lot of young fighters, Sikh fighters coming through. That's partially because of the beard rule as well. Amateur fighters had to shave their beards before. Mm-hmm. So obviously a lot of Sikh people couldn't box because of that reason. But like I said, they're coming forward now. You've got a few young, talented amateurs from the Sikh background. So hopefully, in the coming years, you'll see a lot of Sikh fighters, boys and girls, taking over. You know what I mean? But it's a slow sort of. It's like a marathon. It's not a sprint, is it? No. It's nice to be representing the whole community and having the whole community behind you. Cheering me on and supporting me as well.
Yeah, I mean,
boxing is about it's not just a sport; it's a business in that sense. And unfortunately, it is a business. There's a lot more to boxing. So when you have people behind you, inspiring you and cheering you on, and giving you that confidence, it improves you as a fighter because you're fighting for something, and it also, like I said, it's a business, ticket-wise and all that kind of stuff. It helps a lot. So it's a win-win in both ways.
No, excellent. Weight division, super welterweight, littered with loads of talent, both domestically, abroad as well at the minute as well.
Yes.
Well, first of all, who do you look up to? I mean, who do you think are the main sort of danger people in the division? I mean, we've got some fights coming up, haven't we, as well? But who do you think is the person of that division?
In this country or internationally, or worldwide?
Actually, first, and then we'll talk about the division. But domestically. But who do you think the people are? I
mean, you've got Ted Cheeseman, you've got Anthony Fowler and Scott Fitzgerald, the current British champion. They're sort of the 3 names who are the biggest in the super welterweight division right now. They're all quite a bit older than me, and they've all got about 10, 15 fights experience behind them. So, it's like you said, it's booming. You even got through locally, Hamza Shiraz, he's not far from me. You have loads of other fighters, but I do see myself, one day keep training. If the training go well, and I keep training hard and listen to my coaches, there's no reason for me not to fight them one day, and may the best man win on the night. That's boxing. It's just a sport at the end of the day. I wouldn't be in this sport if I didn't think I could compete with the best. Like I said, I'm not calling nobody out or none of that stuff. But when the time comes, I'll fight anybody, and that's how it is in this sport. You can't be like you can't be avoiding fighters because sooner or later you do get found out. So like I said, when the time comes and I have to fight X person, X, Y, and Z, I will, no problem, and the best man wins on the night. But you know, I know I can mix in with the best and I have that confidence in myself. So when the time comes, there'll be some good fights, some big nights ahead. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully this Corona stuff calms down a bit and everything goes back to normal. But I'm excited for some big nights domestically, and then we can move on across the water.
Across the pond, yeah. Did you watch the
Yeah.
Lomachenko fight over the weekend?
Yeah, well, no, I didn't watch. I didn't stay up because obviously where I'm in camp, staying up till about what was it, 3, 4 o'clock is hard work.
About
But
4 yeah.
I did watch the highlights, and I was surprised. I did think Lopez had the tools to beat Lomachenko, but I just didn't think he would. I just thought, Lomachenko, he's like, even though Lopez had the power, I just didn't think he'd land.
Yeah.
But I think Lopez was just too small at the weight. I mean, Lomachenko was just too small at the weight, and I think he just started too late, didn't he? I mean, if he started maybe in the first round like that, it could have been a different story. But listen, having said that, Lomachenko is an unbelievable fighter, and I still think he is one of the best fighters right now. You can say what you want. He did lose, but I think he jumped up too soon in too high a weight.
Yeah.
There was a clear difference in size as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it was fair to say the 1-1-6, 1-1-2 scorecard was probably about right. To be fair,
Yeah, probably was.
1-9, 109. That was very sort of debatable, wasn't it? That suggested
Yeah,
that.
I mean, you always get one judge
Yeah.
here and there who has a score, and everyone just thinks, "Oh, wait, really? Did you watch the same fight?" But you had the judge the other day on the Eddie Hearn show, who was on his phone. Did you see the picture?
Yeah.
He was on his phone during the fight. I mean, it happens. I mean, unfortunate, but you always get dodgy decisions all the time.
Yeah. What fights are you looking forward to next to watch as well? We've got Povetkin versus White 2, haven't we? And we've got AJ.
Yeah.
If it's is it a case that Lopez has been put off and they might get another replacement? That was a rumor, but I don't know how true that is. I don't think that is true.
I'm not sure, but I know it was December the 14th, wasn't it? Though.
Yeah. So we've got that. Which fights are you looking?
Yeah. So I mean, they're good fights, but one of the fights I'm looking forward to most is Usyk and Chisora.
Oh yeah.
I think that'll be a really good fight because I think sometimes people overlook Chisora, but he is a very strong, and he's a real heavyweight. So that will be, I think, a deciding factor in the fight that's coming up. You got Usyk, who's a cruiserweight at the moment. Well, was a cruiserweight. He's moving up to heavyweight, and you can be the most technical fighter in the world, which he is. But at that weight, it's their power is the main sort of. It will be a key difference, I think. But like I said, I hope Chisora does win. I do like him as a fighter, and when he turns up on a day, and when he's geared up and ready mentally, he is a very tough fighter to beat. He is a handful, and I do believe he can, beat Usyk. But whether he turns up, and maybe Usyk might just be too good for him, too smart, but who knows? But I do think that Chisora can do the job. That's a fight I'm interested to see. A fight that obviously I think the whole world is Tyson Fury and AJ. I mean, it's not booked or it's not penciled in or anything, but that's the fight the whole world wants to see. Nobody really wants to see. I mean, for myself, I don't really want to see Wilder Fury 3. I don't want to see any other fight. That would be a fight that everyone would literally stay up. I'd stay up 3 o'clock in the morning for that fight. That's a good fight that I think the whole world, like I said, the whole world wants to see.
What about Terence Crawford and Brook? I mean, that's possibly.
Brook.
It hasn't been officially announced yet, but it's looking like it could be announced, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good fight for Kell Brook as well. I mean, Terence Crawford's an elite fighter, but it's a good fight. Do you know what I mean? Kell Brook's a tough guy, and where he's been in with the likes of Golovkin and stuff, he's probably learned a lot. So I don't think in that fight, I don't think the power will be the issue for Kell Brook. I think it's just this technical side. Terence Crawford is technically very, very gifted. So it'll be a good fight as well. I mean, there's a lot of good fights coming up, but whether they happen because of Corona and all that kind of stuff, and everything keeps getting delayed, you know, it's crazy. Like even, for example, I think Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia, that's another good fight.
Yep, that's going to happen soon, isn't it, in November?
Yeah. So if it happens, that'll be a good fight. Hopefully Luke Campbell beats him, you know. He's got the tools, like I said, but it's just whoever turns up on the day.
Absolutely. Inder, where can people follow you? Where can we get more of you?
So I'm on Instagram, Inder Bassi _ so my name, Inder Bassi _ I'm not really on any social media. I'm not really on Twitter and stuff. A lot of people, you know, they tell me to make Twitter, you know, keep up to date with everything, but it just seems too hectic. So I'm just on Instagram. You know, you can follow me, drop me a message, whatever, follow, share, like and comment on my, you know, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. You know, we have to, we're business, we're like, we're athletes, but we're also entertainers. So, you know, that kind of whole, like I said, we're told, you know, you go by coaches and managers, you know, keep active on social media. It's part of the game, you know. A lot of fighters are active on social media. You know, they're always calling people out. I'm not really that kind of guy. I just think it's petty. I mean, if tomorrow a big fight comes up and, you know, that's a part of the game is, you know, a bit of bad mouthing and all that stuff, but I'm not really that kind of guy. I've never really done it. So that's what I said. I'm only on Instagram. But always just liking, I've always followed back and stuff.
Good stuff. Inder, thank you once again from The Boxing Voice. We will be in touch.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And good luck as well with your fight as well. So we'll be in touch.
Cheers. No, thank you, Dave. It's a pleasure, you know, before my fight, doing an interview with yourself. You know, it was wicked. Thank you.
Cheers.
If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, from title, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.